Welcome to Movie Buff, where we're going to take you back to where it all began for Beatles legend John Lennon in Sam Taylor Wood's movie Nowhere Boy, and Guy Ritchie's latest film, the highly anticipated Sherlock Holmes, is getting great reviews.
You have the grand gift of silence. Makes you quite invaluable as a companion.
The wait is over as Sherlock Holmes has landed, with an A-list cast including Robert Downey Jr. as the detective himself, Jude Law as his trusty partner Watson, Rachel McAdams as Sherlock's love interest Irene, and Mark Strong as baddie Lord Blackwood. This is a film that's already got everyone talking. Add into the mix that it's Madonna's ex, Guy Ritchie, on directing duties, and it seems a dead set big box office hit. First up then, what's the plot all about?
Lord Blackwood.
The witness stated that he saw Lord Blackwood rise from the grave.
He's going to raise a force that will alter the course of the world.
He's just as brilliant as you are, and infinitely more devious.
We'll see about that.
So, it's a battle of wits and brawn with an old nemesis whose plot is a threat to all of England. And you already got a little taster there, but what's Downey and Ritchie's modern-day Sherlock like?
I would say that he's tortured by anything that is mundane, which means real life, which means it takes things a while to germinate, which means just because you live for a very specific and particular appendage of activity doesn't mean it all goes your way. Then again, he says there's nothing more stimulating than a case where nothing goes your way. So he's a bit of a weirdo, and the things that get him off are the things that frustrate most people.
Not only that, this is a more kick-ass Sherlock than perhaps you'd imagine from the books. A bare-knuckle boxer allowing Downey to frequently show off his chest and Ritchie to showcase his trademark gangster style.
Guy Ritchie, you know, early on in his career, I think he really changed filmmaking and inspired a lot of directors since, who have gone on to create their own styles, but were essentially secondary representations of the Guy Ritchie style. And the fact that he started in commercials and was doing some of the things that we saw in The Matrix later, you know, 5, 7, 10 years before in his commercials, means that as far as what's cool to do and what's a fun way to shoot things, he knows all that. His stories are always incredibly complex, and yet you can follow them.
Now, you'd have thought it elementary, my dear viewers, that this blockbuster would do well, and you'd probably be right. Most reviews are positive, with one even saying this Sherlock rocks. Well done, Team Ritchie.
My father and my mother split when I was about 4.
John Lennon's complex childhood gets the full cinematic treatment this Christmas. Nowhere Boy is the story of the Beatles star's early life, where as a schoolboy in Liverpool he was brought up by formidable Aunt Mimi after he was given up by his spirited mother Julia. Artist turned director Sam Taylor Wood admits it's a complicated story she wanted to handle with care.
What I did do was write to people that mattered, I felt, and just say, I'm making this film. If you want inputs, now's the time. And if you want to say anything or tell me stories or anecdotes, you know, anything, now's the time whilst we're still working on the script. And obviously I don't want to upset anyone, and it's a sensitive subject.
Lennon's parents' marriage broke down when he was just a young child, and his mum fell pregnant by another man. After considerable pressure from her eldest sister, John's mum handed the 5-year-old over and he went to live with Mimi. Sam Taylor Wood hopes Nowhere Boy tells a truer story of John and Mimi's relationship.
I had contact with Yoko, and she said to me, Mimi loved John and John loved Mimi. Keep that in your mind when you're creating that character. And that she taught him Oscar Wilde, she taught him about Van Gogh, and so she was cultured, and she you know, brought him up in a very particular way, but she was very loving, and you know, she has been painted as this sort of dragon. And so I was quite clear that that's not how I wanted her to be. I wanted her to be more complex.
While the film does show Lennon meeting kindred spirit Paul McCartney, this isn't the story of the Beatles. Instead, it's the far more complicated tale of the childhood which shaped a genius.